My name is Costas Stasopoulos. I come from Cyprus, which is a European Union country in the Mediterranean Sea. I work as a power engineer in the local power company of Cyprus, and I'm also the Region 8 Secretary for the last 5-6 years.
So, my name is Saurabh Sinha. I serve as a professor at the University of Pretoria in South Africa. My role in Region 8 is I serve as Vice Chair for Technical Activities, and I have quite a number of other roles within the wider IEEE, but I think for this discussion the role that I've mentioned is most relevant. So IEEE came first in my life as when I was as an undergraduate student, and as time progressed, I had the chance of being at the Student Branch Congress in Cairo, and this was when I saw and I met quite a number of other volunteers, and this inspired me to go and do something when I get back home in South Africa. We did not have a Gold Affinity group, so this is where I actually started. We founded the Gold Affinity group, and then I did a number of other things within the section, and I grew from this grassroots level to the position of section chair, and I was also recruited by the wider IEEE to serve in the Educational Activities Board, and then also within the region, and so this is how IEEE grew into my life.
When I was a student back in the United States, my university was just outside the IEEE headquarters. And I used to pass by the IEEE headquarters every day going to school. And I didn't know what it was, and then I saw them. And then they came to our school and they asked us if we wanted to join. And I said, okay, I see this every day, so I should enroll. And then when I went back to Cyprus and started working, I was one of the founders of the Cyprus section. And since then I became section chair and took other positions, and now I'm the Region 8 Secretary and running for Director elect. Because, well, I'll talk about both of us. We both work hard, so in Region 8, so they have nominated us for this position.
Yeah, so I think that the background that we've probably both gathered from our own sections, I think this is an experience that we feel that we can share with the rest of Region 8. So similar to Costas, I think we speak on behalf of both of us, and I think that's why we have been nominated for this particular position. At the time, at the University of Pretoria in South Africa, we did not have access to IEEE Explore, or otherwise IEEE or IET Electronic Library. So the only avenue that we had to access publications when I was busy with my master's as well as with my PhD was actually through access to becoming a member of IEEE and the societies. So this was very helpful because it enabled me to get a good feel of the body of scholarly knowledge that is present, but then also to add to it. So this was how IEEE contributed to my early career and studies.
When I was a student, I didn't really know what electrical engineering was. I mean, okay, I was studying it, but what do you do after that? And what kind of job do you do? And I went to one of these lectures, workshops that IEEE was organizing, and they had people from industry, and they spoke what they do in their regular work life. And then somebody said, well, I spend 50 to 60% of my time on the telephone while at work, talking and arranging things. And I said, wow, I'm going to become engineer to spend that much time on telephone, and now I do that too. So I don't know, the student membership helped me to blend with the people and socialize and learn a few more things about engineering. Well, first you get introduced to the profession, and you get to know the other students better outside the classroom, and you can also organize special events and some lectures. You can learn and you can also meet through IEEE people that are higher than you in the sense of that they are maybe teachers or professionals or things like that, so you know what you do. And you also start your networking.
So I think that if you look at a typical university, you find that students graduate as an engineer or as a scientist. But what you find that those that are active in the student branch also have the ability to develop as a leader in an early stage. And I think that when they graduate, they don't only graduate as an engineer or a scientist, but then they graduate as a leader in that particular profession. And this head start enables these individuals to have a much benefit in their early stages of their career. And I think that this is a major benefit that is not always mentioned.
Yeah.
It's an intangible benefit, which I think is a main reason to have student branches and therefore to be active in these student branches. So I think that the major questions that we get is what are the benefits of being an IEEE member, and I think that developing this value proposition, and we've had the member segmentation study, and the member segmentation study brought forward certain data, and some examples include continuing education. It includes and the level of satisfaction that our members have is certainly something that we can improve. So I hope that as a director-elect, I will have the chance to start working on these programs. So continuing education is one of them. The other element is on operationally. I sometimes use the word to operationalize strategy. And by this what I mean is that our volunteers are clever people, and they're usually very intelligent persons. And these are people that are usually very busy in their daily professions, and they are strategic persons. They have the ability to contribute strategically. And we have a staff office in Piscataway which hosts just over 1,000 members of staff. And I hope that I'll be able to develop the relationship between staff and our volunteer base, so that our volunteers can contribute to what they are best at, and just in terms of developing strategically, and then having this facilitated through the staff office. Then I also think that developing leaders and to develop the influence of Region 8 is another key element that I will work. And I hope to do all of this by also developing strategic relationships with other entities of importance, for example, the European Union, the African Union Commission, and other similar entities within the Middle East. So these are some of the things that I hope I will start working as director-elect, and then of course as director-elect on.
I want to concentrate in three different aspects. One is to see what members want and try to help members receive what they need from IEEE. But first we have to see what the members do, put them in groups or in categories, and try to help each category in a different way. Students, graduate students, members working in industry, working in academia. You know, we are a very diverse group. Geographic, as a region, we are huge. I mean, we have people in Siberia, and we have some people in South Africa. We have people in the UK and people in Dubai.
Yeah.
So totally different needs of the members, and our goal is to meet the needs of the members. Not easy to be done, but this is our goal. The other thing is to help students and young professionals to find jobs, because this time of the year, especially in Europe, there is a big problem with unemployment, and we have to find ways to make them have extra skills so that they can find a job, or maybe they can get new direction or where the jobs are.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another thing that I want to do. And the other thing is to create a sense of cooperation and networking throughout our region to promote the interchange of ideas and the meeting of new people. Like this Congress is where people from different cultures meet and they exchange, they become friends, and I'm sure a lot of opportunities will come out of this Congress. Will make a difference, but I don't know how. Okay,
Like you're.
I mean, okay, I was a student and for some years, and now work for the industry. So this, I mean, I'm more practical, let's say.
Okay. Since you work in management,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I read
I'm
that
a
somewhere.
manager. Okay, so I want to get things done.
Yeah.
So I set goals and I say, okay, by the end of the year we have to do this and this. I don't know, it's different style, but of course it depends on the person.
Yeah.
So I also serve in the last couple of years. I also serve as the research group head for microelectronics and also the director for the Microelectronics Institute at the university. And there is quite a number of similarities between the roles that I play, and I think a lot of the operational work and the strategic work has overlaps, especially in the area of publications, which is a major aim within IEEE, and also what a number of universities in Region 8 are also strive to, because that is how these institutes are ultimately ranked and are also increase and contribute to the body of knowledge. So I think that these overlaps in striving for the quest to advance technology for the benefit of humanity is something that resonates within academia, and of course we contribute and we tend to see our clients as industry, because that is where our graduates will ultimately go. So the fact that there is an overlap, I think, will actually enable me to contribute heavily both to IEEE, but at the same time also to the academic and to the industrial world within Region 8. Maybe I can speak probably for both Costas and myself. I think one of the challenges that we face, not only within IEEE but within any large organization, is the fact that it is a large organization. So the large company syndrome, the large society syndrome is very active within IEEE. This means that, you know, sometimes to get something to the level of board of directors, if you want to have a change, it goes through a large number of committees, sometimes up to 9 committees before it will reach the board of directors. And so sometimes this becomes an issue. But at the same time, you know, change is not what something else or someone else will bring. Change is what we will actually bring to the association. So irrespective of the challenges, I think, you know, whether it's Costas or myself, I think we will try to be the change that the organization needs.
My favorite one was 2 years ago in Lube,
Okay.
which was a great event, very well organized, and very good technical presentations and professional presentations, and also a lot of fun, especially during the multicultural event.
Nice.
And I met so many people, I made so many friends, and it's nice to see some of them back here, and I hope to see some of them in 2 years.
My favorite student branch congress, once again similar to Costas, we can't really speak about this particular one since it's ongoing, and sometimes the highlight, I think as Costas also said earlier, is sometimes the multicultural evening, which is yet to happen.
Okay.
But I think in all the events that I have been to, the Student Branch Congress in Cairo was something that inspired me, and that's where I began my active IEEE relationship. So that is where I will say was my favorite. And that was also where the Region 8 student paper contest took place, and I was one of the contestants, and that's where ultimately they had the chance of meeting Martin Bastians, who is the Region 8 director.
Did you win?
I was one of the top 3 winners.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So I think that made the Cairo event quite special, and I also participated in Millicon as a result of the student paper competition, and that also took place in Cairo in 2002. So the back-to-back events, the technical event, the student-run event, the multicultural event, the pyramid, the visit to the Alexandria, there were just too many things that were all quite contributory to it.